Welcome to Camp Conversations Parenting Edition. I'm your host, Dayna. I have a master's in counseling psychology, a background in clinical counseling, and teaching. This is a podcast chock full of resources for parents, grandparents, educators, social workers, anyone that works with children. So sit back, relax, and let's start today's conversation. Hi everyone, welcome back, and thanks again for submitting all of your questions. I've really been enjoying reading them. This week I have just selected one question which I will answer, and I will give you takeaway tools that you can start using immediately. So this week's question is from a parent of an early elementary age child, and they're saying that their child has trouble falling asleep at night. They notice them going down spirals of worry and anxiety. And I messaged this parent back and I asked them what strategies they have been using so far. And they said that this child is one of a few children. So they have a few siblings, and none of the other siblings seem to have this same worry spiraling that happens at nighttime. And so they said they've been using the same strategy that they used with all of the other siblings, which was talking them down from the worry, saying things like, yeah, I hear that you're worried, but tomorrow we can do this and this to help deal with the worry, or negating some of the things that the child is worrying about from the past. They said often the child will bring up examples of worries that seem rather irrelevant, like, I'm worried that I'll never get to play basketball again. And the parents are like, well, that's kind of a ridiculous worry. I'm sure you'll always get to be able to play basketball. And so I asked if any of these strategies were feeling helpful, and they said not at that time. So I want to share with you the most effective strategy that I find in my own practice and personally. So step one, when you have a child that is worrying before bed, what we tend to want to do in those moments to get them to fall asleep easier and faster, obviously, is to convince them that the worry is not that important or not relevant in those times. I want you to picture yourself when there's a time that you are worrying as an adult. If you are to tell a loved one or a spouse about that worry, if that loved one, spouse, or even counselor, mental health clinician were to say to you, well, that worry isn't actually that big a deal, or that worry seems rather irrelevant for this stage of your life, how would you feel? I personally would probably feel quite upset, invalidated, silly, embarrassed. I would maybe feel some shame. Same thing happens with our kiddos. And so I want you to keep in mind what your own reaction would be when you pick a way to respond. And we want to pick a response that aligns with how we would want to be responded to as an adult. Makes kind of sense, right? So when, as an adult, I'm having a fear or a worry or any emotion really, and I tell someone about it, what do I want from them? Well, one, I kind of want them to tell me why it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense you're having that worry because you have had a life experience that makes that seem like a realistic problem. It makes sense that you have that worry because that thing that you did in the past was really enjoyable, and it brought you so much joy that, yeah, you are worried that you're never going to get to do it again. The example that this parent gave was, my child often brings up that they're worried that we will never get to go on a trip. We did a cruise in the past, and they're worried that we're never going to get to do that cruise again. I love this example because the parent was like, why would they even think about that? And yeah, that is a bit of a legit worry. We might not ever go on a cruise again. So I don't really know how to respond to my child. So with this worry is keeping them up at night. First thing that I want you to do, I know I keep saying step one. This one actually is step one. First thing that I want you to do is ask the child how they think the feeling is helping them. And this doesn't have to just be the child. This could be if a loved one brings a worry to you, an adolescent brings a worry to you. I want step one, ask them, how is that feeling right now? Yeah, I hear you're a little worried about that. How is that worry helping you right now? Well, the first time you ask this question, if your children are anything like my children, they're going to say, I don't know, right? Because they don't have the experience responding to questions this way yet. So, how is the feeling helping you? If they give you the I don't know, then I want you to go to step two. If they can answer this question, cool. Just listen to them. How is the feeling helping you right now? If we go back to this cruise idea, it's helping me because I'm letting you know how important the cruise was for me, right? Or if I'm worrying about school tomorrow, maybe it's helping me because it gets me motivated to make sure that I have everything in my backpack that I need or that I check my schedule. Step two is you highlighting things that you notice that feeling is helping them with. So step two is, hey, you know what your worry is helping you with right now? Your worry is helping you share with me how valuable that cruise was in our lives, how much you enjoyed it last time we did it, and how excited you are to have another opportunity to do something like that again. Your worry is making it clear to me that this is something that feels really important to you. So thank you. Thank you, worry, for letting me know how much little Johnny enjoyed that cruise and how excited little Johnny is to do something like that again with our family. If the worry is something specific, like school, like being left alone, like being left out of a play date, then I want you to go into it with that kid, with your child. Hey, let's thank your worry for letting us know that we should really be double checking your agenda tonight to make sure we have everything for school. Thanks to your worry for letting us know that friendships are really important to you and that you might need a little support in making sure they're working the way that you want them to work or that it feels best for you. Really highlighting for them the messages, the positive messages that these feelings are helping them share with you as their parent, their support person. So, step one, how is the feeling helping you? Ask this question. If they can't answer, that's okay. If they give an abstract answer, that's okay. We're just getting them used to this form of reflective thought. Step two, this is what I have noticed your feeling, in this case, we're talking about worry, is helping you with, and us sharing examples of how that feeling is helping them. Step three, once your feeling has finished its job, I'm wondering, do you want me just to listen? Do you want me to sit with you? Or do you want me to help you move away from the feeling? This might sound something like, hey, we have talked about all the things that the worry has helped you with tonight. The worry about the cruise. It's shared with us how important it was. It's shared with us how important it is for you to know that we'll do something like that again in the future. It seems like this worry about the cruise has given us all the information that we need right now. So thank you, worry. Do you feel like it's given us all the information we need right now? Okay, I notice you're still having trouble falling asleep. It feels like that worry might be stuck with you a little bit. Ah, it is stuck with you? Okay. Do you want me to keep listening to it, or do you want help moving away from it? Step 4. Share some strategies of how they could move away from it. I'm thinking that some things that help me move away from worry at night are reading a book, listening to a sleep story, having someone rub my back, and lay out the things that you are comfortable supporting them with as examples of how you can help them move away from the worry. In my own house, one of the things that I have been doing is doing out loud sleep story where we talk about the feelings. So once upon a time, there were a couple little kids that were having trouble falling asleep. They had a lot of feelings and thoughts floating around in their minds. One was worry, one was excitement, one was joy, one was fear, one was anger, and I'll talk about a few of them in this little sleep story. And I will say things like, joy was letting them know how much they are enjoyed today and what they're looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks, Joy, for letting us know that. Fear is letting us know that they tried some new things today and there are some unknowns for tomorrow that might be creating thoughts or wonders in their mind. Thanks, Fear, for letting us know that. Sadness is letting us know that they love a lot of things in their lives, like people and places and activities. And because they love them so much, when they go to sleep at night, they miss them. Thanks, sadness, for letting us know about all the love. Worry is letting us know that there are some things that we might need to plan before we can close our eyes. The worry seems to be around getting ready for things or being left out of things. Thanks, worry, for letting us know that. I share each emotion not to get it right, but so if there are a few more going on in their little minds, then they start through practice being able to name them and let me know what thoughts those feelings are attached to. And then it creates the opportunity for me to ask, hey, do you need help moving away from those thoughts or problem solving those thoughts? Or do you just want to let me know about them and I can just listen? These 4 steps are the most effective tools that I have used with families to help kids, especially on that higher worry, higher sensitivity, higher anxiousness end of the spectrum. I'm excited for you to try these 4 steps. So, just to summarize them one more time, how is the feeling helping you? 1. 2, this is how I've noticed the feeling is helping you. 3, now that the feeling has done its job, and I either share the job through the sleep story, like I gave you the example of, and I thank each feeling for its job. I go to 4. 3 is I share the job of each story. Let's start this again. 1, how is the feeling helping you? 2, this is how I've noticed the feeling is helping you. 3, now that the feeling has shared with us why it's here, and we've highlighted all the jobs that it has for us, do you need help moving away from it? Or do you feel like it's moved on because it's already done its job? So 3 is just asking them, do you need help moving away from this feeling, or has it done that on its own? 4, here are some examples of ways I can help you. And I list sleep story, reading a story together, cuddle, rub on the back, or alone time, whatever the options are that work in your house. So these 4 steps are really, really helpful. If you start using them in your home, I would love to hear about them. This week's podcast is just a nice, quick, short, sweet intervention. Please write to me and let me know how this goes. Sending you well wishes for the rest of your week, and I will be answering another question on the podcast next week. If you have questions that you want to submit, you can send them to info@campmentalhealth.com or follow us on Instagram and send them as a DM. Thanks so much. Have a great week.